Hello there. Today on ASKA, we got some tips on keeping your guys happy, and we're going to explain all that kind of stuff for you for their morale, because being happy is going to matter in this game. If your morale goes into the red, they're going to leave you, and that's going to suck. When you first get a guy, you get that +3 bonus to their morale. That's going to last you for a couple days, but you're going to have worker and anxiety for your stuff. So that's going to, you hit tab on there, and you see how many structures you have defenseless. And if any of your guys are sleeping or working at any of these structures that are defenseless, they're going to get worker anxiety for that time. And it's going to be compounded if it's both of them at the same time. So yeah, if they're sleeping at a location that has a defense, then they're going to be fine for when they're sleeping. But if they're working at a spot where there is no defense on there, then you're going to have a problem where they're going to get that worker and anxiety debuff, and your morale is going to be dropping pretty fast, because the standard morale that you have is going to be slightly decreasing the whole time, and that's not going to be good, because that's going to eventually lead into the red. So what I recommend you do is your 5th guy or your 6th guy, and put them on a guard tower. And the best guard tower for me is going to be a watchtower, because they're so easy to build, they take up less space, and you want this in the center of your village because they have a radius. So the guard towers protect by a radius, and they add guard points to all the buildings nearby. So you can see this housing points and its defense points. So you got to go worry about these defense points right now, as long as they have some, and then you're good to go. And I like the guard tower because you can easily upgrade it without a problem in this area. So you can go there and check it out there. The upgrades are in there. So the reinforced tower and the watchtower all at +5 each, giving it a +20 with just one worker. So that one worker is going to be giving you the resources, just some long sticks and regular sticks, and that's about it, right? So yeah, you can easily upgrade this at the center of your village and put a guy on there, even though he's not doing anything. But what he really is doing is keeping the morale up on all the workstations nearby. So all the stuff is working by, even the farm past the cooking place is being protected over here, and so are all these buildings over here. And this one right here is like doubly protected. He's got +40 because of that guard tower. And if you did want to know, like I do want to know, is about the guard towers right here. This one doesn't do anything. This is still +20. So having the max upgraded, it doesn't actually give you any other bonuses right now. So yeah, maybe this will change, but because it seems a little bit cheap, because all this stuff right here is pretty damn expensive to make this guard tower maximize this guard tower up with all those resources, and you got nothing for it besides 1,000 more hit points, and that's it. So you add 1,000 hit points for all that work, and you get no more defense points or anything like that. But those hedge towers themselves, they only add 10 defense points per worker. So you need 2 workers to get that, and they kind of look really ugly in the center of your village. And that's the most important point of this video, is to have your guard tower in the center of your village, so all your buildings have that defense point modifier on there. So once they have that, you're going to have that worker debuff is going to be gone. But the next other things that's going to help you with morale is the temporary buffs that you get from these wooden altars. You can see this guy working on there right now. He's got that wooden totem effect. That's a temporary boost for that hour of leisure time that he has as he's sitting on there. He's getting all that bonus to his, significantly increasing for his stuff, even though it's just a +1 on the scheduling and the stuff right there. So this guy's pretty good at getting his morale up nice and high, because he's got extra bonuses for his character. But yeah, the standard default thing on there is, you're like this guy right here is a standard default guy. He's going to be going down in a negative, but he's got a bonus right there. The scheduling balance right there is always going to be like the negative, and it's the top value right there with that negative. The overall value of your work hours, your leisure time, and your sleep hours, and your housing points, and all that kind of stuff added together is a negative. Without this bonus, he is losing his time right there. So he's going to be leaving on there, so we can go there and check that out there. But yeah, we'll work with this guy right here and show you him, and we can reset his stuff right there and apply that and check it out there. So now he is slightly decreasing, and this is the standard schedule that you're going to get, slightly decreasing morale. We don't want that, and of course, it's going to be good enough right now because it's just slightly decreasing. And if you have him on that basic leisure time that he has, and he's going over to these totems like twice a day, he's fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be close to 100 the whole time, and that's going to be good enough. But if you don't have that, and if you have to have a guy working where he's outside your guard tower range, and your base is just you put it together bad, and that's what you got to do, or your sleeping arrangements, either one, if he doesn't have full protection with guard points on his workstation and his cottage, he's going to be losing too much morale, and you might lose your guy. So let's go ahead and adjust that so we can show you what you can do to get to maximize his work. So that's what the other part of this video is maximizing his work. So this guy's a nighttime guy. The timing doesn't really matter. The only parts that really matter is the leisure time and the sleep time, and that's it. So we need the leisure time. The 6 hours is going to be the minimum. And leisure time is going to determine what if we're going to get the bonus or not of extra, for extra, morale increases on it or not. And that's going to be that 6 hours minimum. And we can cut in the sleep time. We can cut in we can cut it 3 hours of our sleep time. We can cut that out and add that to the work time. So we still get lots of our work day, and we're still going to get a bonus right here. So it says, we're getting a slightly increase from our work hours and our sleep hours. And we got that bonus right there. So yeah, we got a leisure and a work bonus, and that's just how it works out there. So yeah, just remember those numbers. 6 hours of leisure time and 5 hours of sleep, and you can maximize them his work effort. And so if you have worker anxiety and you don't have any guard towers built and you want to neutralize that worker anxiety, and there you go. That's the schedule you can have. You still got lots of work hours. The rest should be good enough because he's got leisure time and all that rest. It should be good enough. And if it's not, just add some more sleep time. If he gets too much, if he's not getting enough rest, you can modify it. And it doesn't matter where you put this, as long as they have the total. It doesn't matter where they are. You can put them 1 and 1 if you want, and really screw with them, and you'll still get the same effect. But anyways, if you want to take it to the next level and you still want them to increase, we can go over to this one right here and apply this one here. As you can see, now we get a +2 to our scheduling balances right here for him. So if you have that sleep anxiety and he's really low and you want to make sure he's leveled up, you can go ahead and adjust his time. But that's going to take you 10 hours of leisure time and 7 hours of sleep time. So he's not going to be working too often. He's basically a builder, good for lighting fires basically and doing some work on the offhand. But yeah, you can schedule this as you see fit, as I said before. All thing that matters is the 10 hours of leisure time and the 7 hours of sleep time to get the most out of it. So you can get 7 hours of work. So with this schedule right here at a +2 with the 10 and 7, you'll be able to have worker anxiety, and he'll still be gaining morale. So that is how you can still have your guys functioning and get the most out of it with a schedule like this right here, for an example. And if you want to take it further and maximize it out, we can go over here and try this one out right here. So that is 16 hours of leisure time and 5 hours of sleep to get 3 hours of work out of the guy. But you are going to be getting the maximum +3, and that is the maximum. You can go over there and you can adjust this and have it all leisure time and whatever you want to do. You're still only going to get +3 over here. You can get rid of the negative over there, but that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Nothing's going to make this go up to +4 with how the morale works at the moment, at least. Maybe if you get more in the housing points, you can adjust it. So yeah, that's the next thing to do, is that see how much housing points you need to actually get some more points out of it. And that's probably just the decorations and stuff like that. But yeah, as long as there's no plus right here for the housing points, it doesn't really matter. All the thing that matters right there is the overall +3 on the scheduling balance for your guy, for its morale. So yeah, and then the worker anxiety and having some other effects, they're uneasy versus the storms or something like that, or they don't like the rain, the soggy discomfort. If they have something like that, and that's when you have to start adjusting your schedules to make up for it, and by giving them the extra leisure time. And then it's probably going to be good enough to go on there with just the M1 right here. So yeah, just having the 6 and the 5 is probably good enough for most of those other guys that have problems while they're working. So that is the optimal setup that you're going to want. And any time frame, so it doesn't matter where you have them on the time frame. Just have that set up there, because they're on their leisure time, they're going to be going over and sitting at the wooden altar. So as long as you have that wooden altar and then extra leisure time, they're going to be getting that extra big huge buff also. So that's going to take effect. That's going to get rid of a lot of those other negative effects that they have on there for that sleep anxiety and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the optimal schedule I would recommend for you. So yeah, the two major tips, I guess, at the end of the day, is a guard tower in the center, so everything has everything has defense points on there, so you don't get worker anxiety, and then going over to your schedule and adjusting it so you actually have a +1 to your scheduling balance, and that should work out at the end of the day, as long as you have you get the extra time on the leisure time, and as long as you have some of these little totems right here for them to sit around, and they can sit around there and do that. If they're builders, they might not be sitting around there, so yeah, just be aware of that too. I might want to add that. If they're a builder and they're going to run around run around and light the fires for you and keep those things updated for you, but they won't light actual fires, which really sucks. You can't actually get them to actually run around and actually light the fires for the guys and stuff like that. They'll just go around there and keep the lights on. That's all they do. That's what the builders do. It's somebody else will probably do that, and I just haven't worked out who does that. So yeah, somebody's going to run around there and do the fires for their job if they have extra leisure time. Maybe the cook does that. I should test that out there, and I'll let you know later on. But yeah, I should test out, see if somebody actually does update the fires, because that would be good to know. But anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.